Show did. What's the 441 Marshall's peace, love, and all that goodness? How y'all living? How y'all loving life? Ether Thumbs back with another TikTok series. But look, man, we on Saturn's head top because Saturn on our head top. We got the retrograding, I think 2 days ago, 3 days ago, beginning of this week. We hit retrograde. I think it was Saturday actually. Pisces, Saturnian 12th house energy. So you're looking at Saturn tying up loose ends, and Saturn in retrograde will ask you to sit down and take the test, and you're going to have to put all of the things that you've learned from this entire wheel, because Saturn has traveled from Aries all the way around the wheel, and now it's at a culmination, or it's coming to culmination in the Pisces placement. Pisces is cleaning up. We're in the 19th degree, so you're in a space of retrograde to retrospect what has happened to you in your entire existence, or just maybe this Saturn cycle, this last Saturn cycle. What has happened and what have you not learned, and the things that you have learned, how can you put those into play with this new cycle resetting? There's a major reset here with Saturn coming into Aries, and you're looking at, like I said, you're tying up the loose ends. So let's see what's aspecting Saturn. And you got Venus trining Saturn, and then you have I think the Sun. Let me see. Yeah, the Sun got a weak trine. That's in the space, but the strong energy is the Venus trining Saturn. That's the important one. And the Sun is trining Saturn also. Mars at a medium placement is trining Saturn. So it's having a conversation with the things that you love, the things that you do, and the way that you protect and provide for yourself and others. Those three things are on the board. We're dealing with Venus. The Venusian quality is it doesn't like to be pushed around by Saturn. So in a trine, this is a more harmonic aspect. It's kind of blending energies, so you're able to finesse Venus a little more. So Saturn's pushing you to do what you love just a little bit, like nudging you, like, hey, you know you want to do that thing, right? Yeah, remember that thing you say you love to do? And even if you didn't get paid, you'll still do it? Yeah, you should go ahead and do that right now. So Saturn's talking to you real nice like that, like that. And then Mars is sextiling Saturn, which is not such a nice conversation, but it's still pleasant because it's helpful. The sextile is helpful to each other. They balance each other out. The trine is more of a likeness. So Venus and Saturn, they're more alike right now. But Mars sextiling Saturn, they both help each other. So there's like a push. Saturn may push you to go do something. There may be something that it's not the end of the world, and it's not super hammering like Saturn usually will be, but it's a energy of like, hey, you know you need to go do this. You need to go ahead, get up. The light, he turned the light on and shit. Saturn turned the light on while you sleep. You need to go ahead and get up, and you need to go ahead and take care of that responsibility that you said that you was going to do. This is only me reminding you of what you said you was going to do. So are you going to go do it? You know what I mean? And then the Sun trining Saturn, they're both in a likeness. You have the Cancerian Sun, but you're looking at the more coercive energy of like sharpening your ego, sharpening the way that you allow yourself to show up for others and provide for yourself. Hold on, I got you, blackberry. Okay, so with Mars being in Taurus, you're looking at the aspect of the focused bullseye. So the bull usually doesn't get his gears in and revved up until he knows which way he's going. So the bull is very narrow-minded for a reason, because it has one goal and one target once it locks in. So Taurus is kind of like a super Aries. Once they get locked in, they're on go mode. So Saturn is helping that go mode. You know what I mean? And then your Venus is what is in Cancer too. So there's actually this. It's almost it's a conjunction with the Sun. You're looking at Venus in Cancer. How do you like your home to be? How do you like your family to be? So there's a reset, and there's Saturn asking you, how would you set up your family if you were to do so right now? And it's probably a good idea that you focus on how you do this. And there's some ways that you can do this. Everything, also, disclaimer, this Saturn retrograde affects everyone differently, depending on your chart, depending on what's going on, depending on if your natal chart has a Saturn retrograde already in it. You may have difficulties, you may not. So, you can't just blanket and say that this is a difficult time. This may be a glorious time for some people with Saturn in retrograde. They're used to it. They like this type of energy. The pressure builds the diamond. But let's get back to the way Venus wants you to magnify the way that you go home. So the way that you go home is retrospect. You look back at your life. You looking back at your family's life, your parentals. Those are important people and parts that help you understand who you are, so that you can overcome these challenges that you are placed here to deal with. These blackberries is a hit, y'all. So let's zoom in this first house. You still have the North Node in Aries, and the North Node in Aries is still challenging you to understand who you are and the power and the capabilities that you have. You got Chiron in the first house, also in Aries. So you're going through things, and you may be having problems, and it's okay with these placements in the current chart, because Aries learns by doing things, making mistakes, doing it again, making mistakes. So this is the season to fuck it up. Go ahead and try that shit. Do it now. Bump your head. And once you get into Taurus, because North Node will be moving into Taurus, Chiron will be moving into Taurus. Once these energies move into Taurus, once Saturn moves into Aries, you'll be all systems go. Saturn in Aries is all systems go. Saturn in Aries will be very, very pleased with you doing your homework, so that you can repeat your processes, so that you can get them right. Perfect your processes. So Aries is about practicing things. So that trine in Saturn is helping things out. You feel me? Okay, so while you're dealing with this retrograde in Saturn, you want to hone in on the opposite polarity of Saturn, and that can be looked at on the opposite side of the wheel. You see Virgo. So Virgo asks you to purify and electrify your day-to-day habits. So your mind will harness the ability to see forward, and the rest of you follows Mercury. Mercury is the gateway to your being. That's a whole nother topic. We got a few more seconds. So you're looking at Virgo purifying and day-to-day habits, so that you can balance this Saturnian retrograde. And then it's like, bam, you're in the game.